to
Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashir Bakakwadash.
Our double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to Yakim bringing out this word, diligence and in truth. And we come another week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, to declare and to tell you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that you are the 12 tribes, the Most High's chosen people, and that He's coming to only save a remnant of you, man. 144,000, which consists of the 12 tribes, which 12,000 are men, out of the 12 tribes, and then the 1/3, which consists of men, women, and children. The 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed, as the scripture said, and we come out here to warn all the world, because the scripture says this gospel must be preached unto all ends of the earth, and then the end shall come. So we're also to tell you heathens and what's to happen as well, man. And because this is what we were sent to do from our higher power, man. Right. Now we also have an article that we want to get into, because this world is engulfed in wickedness, man. And if you're comfortable in this world, that ultimately means you're yoked in with this world, meaning you're going to also perish with it, man.
Right.
That's the scriptures. Those that are fit for the second death are the ones whom Yahweh Bashim Yahushai hates and despises. And that's because what? The deeds of this place are evil. There's an attack on all levels of mentally, physically, and especially spiritually, of Satan trying to get into the minds and the heads of people, man. And it's ultimately to mess up these people, man, to mess up the tribes. So what he's doing is an attack. As the scripture says in the book of Ephesians, about the wiles of the devil.
I text her. She said she'll text you.
This is Ephesians chapter 6. Straight to the point. Let's put verse 10. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil."
Yeah, to be able to withstand against the wiles of the devil, right? And Lord, in the scripture, it tells us the armor that we have to put on. But the wiles are going into the methods, man. Methodius. Because Esau, understanding that he's the wicked, he attacks you on every level. From the water being messed up, to the food you eat, the air, down into what you're being processed or what you're seeing, and it's processing through your mind, man. The imagery that he shows within his shows, within his music, that's all to bring you into a demonic vibration, man.
Yeah.
And these people, they're constantly content with being fed that energy, because when we go into the book of John, the 3rd chapter, it tells us about and you want to grab that as well? John the 3, and 16 to 17, where it says the deeds of evil.
Yep.
John chapter 3.
17?
16,
That's
18.
Let's start 18. It says, John chapter 3, verse 18, "He believeth on Him." I'll start at 17. "For the Most High sent not His Son into the world to condemn the world, but through the world, but that the world through Him might be saved." And just to break it down briefly, the whole nation of Israel gets saved through Yahushua because of the elect.
That's who that world is
That's the
referring
world.
to.
Yeah, it's not the whole inhabited earth. It's talking about a cosmos.
Correct.
You go to the Greek word there.
And even in that world, when you go into the book of Daniel 12, it still tells you that the 2/3 have to perish of that fire. That's why it says and they'll wake up with shame.
Shame and contempt.
Shame and great contempt,
If it says, 18, it says that he that believe on Him is not condemned. We know everybody don't believe, so that kills the whole world anyway, right? The whole idea of the whole world.
And everybody wasn't meant to believe. Because you ultimately have to be, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has to open that belief, that faith.
He has chosen you to give that.
Exactly.
Beginning.
He has to have shown, or it's like he has to have opened those those bounds on your mind in order to receive those spiritual gifts, man.
It says, "He that believeth on Him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already."
Yep. And that's a clear separation between those that will be saved versus those that are meant to be condemned, as it says in the book of Romans, man.
I was just going to mention John 3:16ers. This is not on topic. We get there, but the John 3:16ers, how they going? You know what I'm thinking? How you going to say the whole world, but then it says He came to condemn the world, but then those are condemned already. That don't make sense. So the sense of it is saying there's the two separate, some that are not condemned and some that are already condemned. But the whole world will be saved by them that are not condemned because of Yahweh Shai.
Right.
It breaks the whole everybody on earth deal. Right? It says, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yahweh.
Yep.
And this is the condemnation that light.
Yep.
So, and this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light.
And what's the light, man? The light is the truth. It's the word, the wisdom. And who is that light being helped by? By his prophets, man. And we're shining this light in the midst of darkness, as the scripture tells us, man. You know, because this world is darkness. The scripture says it's the valley of the shadow of death.
Yeah. It says, and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. Everyone that doeth evil hated the light.
Yeah, everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. And as the wicked are adverse unto the righteous, and the righteous is adverse unto the wicked, man.
Right.
That's just the duality of it, man. You have, as the scripture says, I believe in the book of Sirach, good is set against evil.
Right.
You know, was it Sirach 12?
I got a quick precept.
Okay.
I think so.
This is Proverbs 29 and 27. And it says, this is in the NLT, it says, the righteous despise the unjust, the wicked despise the godly.
God, right there, man. Ain't no explanation needed. Explain.
Sirach 33 and 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
Yeah, the good is set against evil, and the sinner against the godly, and the godly against the sinner, man. And that's what the battle is about. It's the battle of good and evil, man. Those whom are going to be saved versus those who are going to be destroyed. And we have to play out this battle here, man. So all these wiles that Esau is bringing forth, and you have to combat these to the best of your ability, man. And we have the power on our side because, hey, righteousness will win. The right hand is going to get the victory, man.
The game is fixed.
Exactly. It's fixed. Yeah, it may seem at times like a government.
Not to cut you off, but hey, it may seem like wickedness is going to get the
That's the
victory.
spirit, bro.
Because it's just, the world is
It's the way it's supposed to be.
oversaturated.
It look like it's
with
the way it's
wickedness.
supposed to be.
It's,
Right.
it's the new norm. This is what people are used to. This is what people wake up, and this is what they consume. This is what they see. As soon as they leave outside of their home, as soon as they walk across that door, it's just wickedness.
Yeah.
But that's because right now you have the wicked ruler.
Right.
The scripture say in Proverbs when the righteous
Or
it's like
when
when
the
the
wicked
wicked are multiplied,
Yeah.
transgression increases.
Yes, like
And he's in power, so that's the vibration of the world right now. To be wicked. This is that same serpent going back to the garden that convinced Eve that all this wickedness that you see, if you practice it and know it, you're not gonna be you're not gonna die for it. You're gonna be a goddess, knowing both sides if you do this. That same cunning, crafty serpent is now ruler over the planet.
yeah.
That's right.
So this is what to expect.
And I was thinking of something when the brother first mentioned it when we was reading this, and then also when you said it, it brought it all the way circle. Hey, and this about the 2/3 and then Eve even. This is to show who is still gonna stand up for righteousness for the Most High. Who's gonna still stand up for that, even in the midst of evil?
Yep.
Are you gonna stay obedient? Because we were chosen to be righteous. But he's looking at the fact that why the majority of his chosen people that was given all the acts and the laws to be good are being so damn evil.
Yeah. It's going to come to a point where you can't turn your blind eye to it, where it's like right in your face, and you're going to have to make a choice, man.
Exactly.
It's everywhere.
Hey, choose ye this day whom you will serve, man. Hey, because if you don't bow down to it, guess what? He is gonna lock you up. He's gonna persecute you. You know, he's gonna deem you all these key phrases, you know, that the world looks at like, oh, extremists, terrorists, you know, non-conformists.
Just because you want righteousness.
Exactly. Now, if you bow down to it, guess what you receive? You're ultimately gonna receive that thermonuclear destruction. But before that, you're gonna receive that MOTB, because you're gonna be completely yoked and being subservient unto him, man. You're gonna bow down unto him as if he's your God, you know? And that's going to be your downfall, man. And that's gonna be a lot of Jake's downfall. Because Jake finds comfort in wickedness. Because it's easy to be a nigga, man. It's easy to be wicked because there's no resistance. Now fighting the true battle, that straight gate, that's where the fight begins, man. Because you have to fight against everything and everybody, man.
And you start with the wickedness in yourself you're trying to put away.
Yeah.
And quail to an extent, extinguish that down as well as you can get it. But this flesh is always going to lean towards it, so you got to fight that every day. Then the flesh is susceptible to doing all kinds of matter of evil and wickedness. And just as soon as you step out the house, now you're influenced by it. It's everywhere.
Right.
So what are you gonna do? You know, this is where you have to make a decision. What do you do instead of doing wickedness? Follow the rules and guidelines of this book. You know, not being over righteous, but rehearsing the righteous acts. You know?
Hey, brother, have a picture.
That
18 and
not yet, right?
No,
No, I
I
don't
was
think we have it.
wondering. I thought you was ready to start
You got it.
Yeah.
Sirach 10, starting at the top. A wise judge will instruct his people,
Yep.
and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
The word government came back.
That's
I was thinking of something else. But what does the word government mean? It means mind control. Govern your mind. Govern your mental. That's mind control. That's another level of wickedness that's happening to you out in the world. When you're focused on just going with the flow of everything that's happening, you have to completely break away from that ideal to have a chance at this thing, to truly fight and to earn your way to not being burned up with this place, man. This place is going to lose World War III, and you don't want to lose the battle with it. So you got to win the battle of the flesh, man, to being in the spirit.
And I just want to add, like, a government is not. A government itself isn't wicked.
Right,
It's what that government do,
what they
how it governs
right.
in the midst of a population.
What that government stands for.
It's about it's about what they implement as far as their morals,
Yep.
the environment,
Yeah.
dealing with relations, public relations with people. That's what a government. That's where a government is utilized. Make sure everything is distributed fairly amongst the people.
Yep.
Make sure the morale is intact. But this government, we already know what this government operates off of. We already know what God this government serves, man. It's definitely not the God in the Bible. They show it time and time and again.
Yeah, the guy of this world, the elite bankers, man. Rothschild, Rockefellers, those elite bankers that rule all the governments. You know? That's the God of this world. You know?
And who is their God?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really who they get their energy out of. The vibration from.
Let's go back.
Verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers.
Yeah, that's plain, man. As the judge of the people is himself, so is his officers. And you can look at now and see how he runs everything, and see how wicked it is. Hey, because it's a direct correlation, man.
Yeah.
Hey, when the head is messed up or corrupt, guess what? Everybody underneath that head is going to be corrupt and messed up. Hey, we can go through the book of Judges. Hey, when Jake was doing evil, guess what? Whole nation was going off. When Jake did well, the king was doing well first. Look at the rulership under King David and King Solomon, man. King David subdued the nations, and he ruled. Brothers, know how many years King David ruled? I'll say it's a combined 70. So, how much did King David rule, and how much did King Solomon rule?
Solomon, 20 years?
You said what?
400 years?
You said 400? No, not 400.
Just ran.
It's a combined 70.
Between the two kings.
Between King David and King Solomon. So King David ruled 30, put him under subjection at 30 years. King Solomon ruled 40 years. That's a 70.
That's a reading to do, brothers.
70.
Get into that history, man.
Yeah. So it was a combined 70. But underneath that 70, Israel was good. Because they had, two righteous men, ruling over them, man.
One of them was a lord. They were conquering kingdom under
Subjection.
David.
Yeah.
Let's be real. The conquering
Yeah.
kingdom under King David, but then they were a peaceful nation under King Solomon.
But they had to conquer to allow King Solomon
Exactly.
to rule the way. Right.
And who was the head throughout all of it, man? Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Hey, they were both nine to their hearts, man. You know? You gotta preach. Oh yeah, this is 2 Samuel 5, brother. Grab the precept. I'll start here at what was that?
Oh, it's just a correction.
Oh, correction. Wait, what? Can you read it, brother?
So, what if I saw please? 2 Samuel 5 and 4. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years.
40.
So 40 and 40. So what's
80
40?
years.
So
40 and 40.
Hey, that's crazy. I've heard 30 the whole time.
Yeah,
And I've even read that before. I still read what I thought.
40 and 40. The edification comes out of it all, man.
Hey, we all got it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Kind. And so I was wrong.
Yeah.
Get back on that.
I'm gonna read it over. It says, Sirach 10 and 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Yeah, such are all they that dwell therein. So if you got Esau ruling, and we understand the earth was given unto the wicked, hey, well, you have wickedness, hey, that's running rampant and full. Hey, wickedness is seen as righteousness and upheld here.
Right.
Hey, you have the whole acronym community, you know, that's pushed heavily. Hey, it's pushed to your children. Hey, and they're the main targets right now, man.
Yep.
Hey, because Esau says, hey, that's why he always gives the title of the new generations as the ones that are the smartest, man. Because
Right.
they conform the most.
Yeah.
They have no backbone. So he's labeling them as the best because they're the weakest.
Yep.
They're the most controllable. Hey, and he does that through your Disney Channel. And we got an article on that as well that we're going to get into, man. Because it's a new show out there basically saying that a teen girl is sleeping with Satan, man. That's what they're pushing.
It's animated. It's like no.
I know
It's
it's
like a
one
show.
that's animated as well, though.
Damn.
I'm not sure if that's the same one.
Yeah, their content is getting more and more dark, and they're suddenly trying to. I notice what each show that they put on these networks, the storylines and the themes and all that, it gets more and more dark, more and more wicked.
Because before it was hidden, had
It used to
hidden,
be hidden.
and
We didn't notice until later on.
Yeah.
When we went back and analyzed a lot of these, these films, and we saw the subliminal messages and the imagery. But now the further shit goes left, the more blatant they can become. So now it's just out at the forefront, out in the open. Because people are becoming more conformed to it. Desensitized, and they're conforming to it.
They used to have to wait till after 10 o'clock to do any sexual act. Now they're doing same sexual acts before 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
well, they have shows that come on, they'll show repeat all day long or whatever it is. You could say regular cuss words damn near on
Yeah.
on regular TV now.
Yeah.
Nothing's censored.
You don't have to be okay. This is just okay.
Yeah, even you even see it in the most degenerate sites how they became more degenerate, man. Hey, World Star, you look at World Star now, man, you gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Last year wasn't even that bad, But now, hey, they're showing people like literally get put to death on there.
Yeah. It's smut. It was what?
Snuff.
Snuff films, bro.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
This is Proverbs 30 and 12. It says, there is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up.
Right.
Right.
That's this generation, man.
We're there.
What do they call forward?
Forward.
Forward. Yeah, forward.
But this is supposed to be the new woke generation.
Yeah.
No sleep.
But they're the most sleep.
They're the most thinking that they're hip to what they should be doing. They're the ones the most hip to what they should be doing.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. They're hip to wickedness.
Yeah.
And they will, if you denounce certain things that we know in the conservative world would be considered immoral. If you go against the grain, they're gonna start to say that, oh, you're closed-minded. Your mind is small. You're not thinking
Out the box.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They're gonna try to basically call you all type of bigots and all type of use political
Keep tripping
terminologies
words,
to shame you into accepting their BS. You know?
But it's funny that you either accept it, you can't deny it.
Yeah.
How come I can't, if I'm supposed to have freedom of speech and freedom of choice, freedom of opinion, how come I can't have the freedom to not like the shit that they're pushing?
And voice that opinion.
And voice it.
They call it hate speech.
Right. Now I'm demonized because I'm not with the awkward shit.
And man, I saw a video of this one trans dude. He, transformed into a woman, but he actually kept it real in his one interview.
Oh, I seen it. Yeah.
He pretty much put it out there like, man, listen, man, we know a male was a male and a female is a female, but what the fuck is they? Like, we gotta refer to these with using these pronouns. What the fuck is a they?
Yeah.
But he was saying like, see, I could say this because I'm one of them.
Yeah.
If somebody that's straight says what I'm saying, they're gonna get thrown the phobic word.
Yep.
They're gonna have all these terminologies against me if I said it as a straight person. So that's how you know this world is just super ridiculous right
I
now.
don't know if you saw, I caught one of the TikToks or maybe Instagram or something. I put it on the camp page and I thought I would put it in ours, but I didn't. But it was about the dude from the guy from Ghana. He was talking to that Jake. He was explaining the dynamic. How come I don't have, was it in ours?
Yeah, it was.
Was it? Well, yeah, because he was saying that how come I was supposed to be a democracy, and
Yeah.
democracy means majority rules, right? But if the majority don't want something, how you gonna force us to take it anyway?
Right.
All right.
Then it's not a democracy.
Yeah, he said, how is it that the minority, which is a super small number,
Yep.
have such a big leverage
Yep.
upon the majority if that's not how the way their voting works?
Yep.
I got a quick brief on the show. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And when we always go into that scripture, we always talk about, martial law, the violence that the so-called white man bringing. But it's also talking about his mind, his philosophies. When you look up wrath,
I said, that better be your grandson.
Thomos is the Greek, thymos Greek. The first definition: passion, angry, heat, anger, forthwith boiling up and soon subsiding again. Glow, adore, the wine of passion. His wine, his philosophy.
Passion goes right
So
to
he
your
transgressive by wine, therefore he's a proud man.
That's why he ain't holding back. That's why he's bringing out all his wickedness to the forefront, man. There's no hiding no more.
all his deepest inner thoughts and feelings, he's coming out with that shit now and pushing it and imposing it on the world so he can be comfortable in the world. The world is barely starting to accept the bullshit, and he just gonna keep pushing it till he don't even he really wants the confusion. Oh,
Yeah.
He don't even care about the confusion. He wants the confusion.
He's flooding the world with this shit, man.
Confuse everybody until they just do whatever the fuck I'll tell them. And I'm gonna tell them wrong, but not do right. You know?
He seasons the world with wickedness.
Yeah.
You know?
Comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Y'all have something?
I had some.
All right.
Go ahead.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2. I'm gonna start at 7. It says, "For this lawlessness is already at work secretly." This is in the NLT. It says, "And it will remain secret until the one who is holding it back steps out of the way. Then the man of lawlessness will be revealed."
All this without law.
Man of lawlessness.
And what did it say? That's in a different version?
This is NLT.
Yeah.
Basically,
It sounds
the
like wicked
man
will
of
be
sin.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. It says, or the mystery of iniquity, right? It says, "But the Lord Yahweh Shai will kill him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him by the splendor of his coming. This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles."
With counterfeit power, signs, and miracles. Hey, because what? You understand that the Egyptians did that same thing with the counterfeit power because they were on the side of who? On the left hand, man. Versus the righteous hand being the true power, man.
That's dealing with, enchantment, sorcery, witchcraft.
Yep.
That's the counterfeit miracles that they're coming with. Soothsaying. All right. It says he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction.
That goes right back to the wilds. He's using every kind of evil deception. So, hey, he's doing it through his imagery, whether it be logos, he's doing it through his music, he's doing it through his all facets of entertainment. You know, something as simple as a car logo could go back to Esau, you know, trying to, exalt some left-hand power, man. You know? It's that deep, man. It's that deep with this devil. Hey, the script, what's that, Ezekiel 28? It says, he is wiser than Daniel.
Yep.
You know? So he searched out all these different wicked vices, man. You know, he looks at the previous kingdoms to see what they did in wickedness, man, and he revamps it.
Like it says, just like Solomon sought it out to find out the righteous acts.
Yeah.
You know, he has to go through some of the wicked as well. And this nigga, he went through all of them and was like, yep, we're gonna keep this wicked. Oh, look, once you keep all these wicked together, well, now look, I create new wickedness. I'm gonna start creating new shit.
He's convinced the world that man and woman together is wrong.
Yeah.
He's convinced the
human nature is now wrong.
Yeah.
We don't want live
Procreation.
bees. We don't want bees to keep the ecosystem. We want
Artificial
drones
bees.
and little artificial GMO bees. You know, to repopulate. This is crazy. What are we even talking about here?
A man could get pregnant.
Yeah. You have something called artificial wombs, man.
You think about like why?
Yeah.
That's the dumbest question that you can ask somebody like that. I mean, the dumbest answer has they don't have one. Why? Why not?
That's what they'll say too.
Why not? There's stuff for that already. There's people designed for that. Why do you need to be a book, man? I want to see what it's like. But that just shows you the level of wickedness this place is at. You see what I mean?
I'll read verse 10 again. It says, he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that would save them. So, you want to ask?
Oh yeah, can you read it again, bro?
Yeah, I'll read it again. It says, he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that would save them.
Yeah, because they refuse the light, man. They refuse to come into the knowledge of the truth. Hey, because we're out here every week, man, Lord will. You know, preaching and telling Jake, hey, this is what it is, man. Can you not see that the world around you is wicked and corrupt? And that is due for a destruction, man? You can take anything, any topic in life, you can be shown how wicked this shit is, man. Something as simple as you getting paid. You like, oh well, it's payday, but guess what? They're withholding wages from you. Hey, and they have you working crazy hours, man. Hey, on the bag full of holes, you can go into Haggai, you can go into literally anything.
They're paying you with debt.
Yeah. Hey, and on top of that, you're supposed to be getting paid after every day you work, man. Not at the end of 2 weeks.
I only want to work 3 days, man. That's the lifestyle I choose. If you want to hire me for that long, hey, you should be able to do that. If the agreement is to hire me for longer, that's different. But hey, if I only want to work 3 days, you pay me just for that work.
They would throw Jake in jail back in the day for not going to work.
I believe.
Yeah, it's gonna be more fucked up
or
because
fine.
of inflation.
Yeah.
These all hold your shit bi-weekly. Inflation going up every day.
Man, yeah.
Every hour.
You go back, you owe him money.
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing left.
You're right.
You know?
And he gonna leave your wage stagnant,
Yeah,
right where it's at.
that's the thing, man.
He ain't gonna give you no increase.
No coke.
Yeah, and if you ask me one, that's the extra reason why they fired you, man.
Yeah.
And they give you raises, but the raises don't go with the rate of inflation.
Exactly.
The price, the cost of living is below the poverty line. The minimum wage is below the cost of living, which is under the poverty line.
Yeah, my job was a couple weeks ago. You know, they gave us a dollar raise for cost of living allowance. Everybody in the fucking room clapping and shit. What the fuck? You supposed to be making $20 more what we're getting paid right now just to live at that, you know,
right level.
right above the poverty line, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are slaves,
Yeah,
man.
people are happy because they think their dollar is gonna, that extra dollar is gonna stretch more. Hey, well, not when everything is going up, it's not. You know? Hey, what was that? I think the Fed inflation rose by 50%. I believe it was 50% or 25%, a quarter or a half. It was one of those. But nevertheless, man, it's still not enough. It's still not enough, man. Hey, even with the whole plan, the pandemic, man, what did they do? Wiped out the whole middle class. Hey, so now you just have what? A lower class and an upper class, man.
Yeah, no middle class.
The rich that would have millions, they now have trillions, and those that were doing decent, they are now struggling. All those small businesses are now transferred into private corporations, man.
Yeah.
Your mom and pop stores are now Walmarts. You know, they're now McDonald's.
There is a big corporation now.
They're now Amazon warehouses. You know, and then the farmers that had certain things. Hey, guess what? Their crops are fucked up, man. He is going around. He's also salting their land, man. Which is what? Destroying the produce that you get in your stores. So now the produce is going to go up, which means there's going to be a scarcity in produce and goods that are actually healthy for you, even though they still GMO. You know? So everything is fucked up here.
They're getting ready to also, I'm going to try to, be careful with what I'm getting ready to say.
Mm-hmm.
They also saying that they getting ready to, which I believe they already been doing. They're saying that they're going to start putting messenger ribonucleic acid into
Foods.
your foods.
Yep, your salads.
Your green, your leafy greens.
Everything.
Swine for you niggas out there that like to eat that swine.
Exactly.
Probably gonna get more fucked up.
Exactly. They're doing this so that, because they know that a lot of people
Resisted
still people that resisted that and didn't trust it. So they like, all right, well, shit, we got another way to get you to get it.
You gonna get it one way or the other.
He said, all you vegans?
But going back to the wiles of the devil,
Yep.
this is part of his methods and strategies to take his victims, man, to destroy you.
Hey, because that's what the scripture tells us in the book of Habakkuk too, man. Or it's like John 8:8. The thief cometh not but for to steal. John 10:10. It's like the thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy, man. This is what he's been doing from the beginning.
Yeah, so I'm gonna read it. It says, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that would save them, so the Most High will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe these lies, like the pandemic. Like it was constant witchcraft going on, because here it is. You can go on Google,
I remember,
and just type in any number of cases, and there will be an article right there for that number of cases. And then you study how Bill Gates, he read a book studying statistics, how to manipulate statistics. And this same dude is he's leading the charge over how to handle this so-called pandemic.
We're not gonna act like the company that he has that isn't the top technology on earth right now. It's the internet.
It came out that his the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation was who actually funded those fact checkers.
Yep.
So all the information is going to be biased anyway.
Yep.
Even if whatever facts you come with is true, because they control the narrative and the technology
Platforms.
the platform, they could just say no, that's false,
Yep.
even if it's true. Same thing with YouTube. So this is how they're able to fool the public using evil deception.
Yeah. They
Manipulate just the power of mind manipulation.
Yeah. Manipulate the news, the media.
Media.
That's why you got to come get the real news from the prophets.
Huh. Because there's a difference between prophecy and alarmism. Alarmism is just to get you to fear. They'll tell you anything just so they can get you in fear to control you.
Mm-hmm.
Prophecy is, hey, this is going to happen, and if you don't do anything to prepare yourself for it,
That's the difference.
you're going to get caught up in it.
That's the difference. In prophecy, the Most High is genius enough to let people know that there's a way out. Come and be obedient to me.
Exactly.
But with alarmism, there's nothing we can do. We're all doomed.
You just got to just comply with whatever instruction we give you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what they was wanting.
constantly, everything you like. What's the name of the press secretary?
Black chick?
That black chick that always was speaking. No.
That was something.
Another chick. She ain't even American though. But she speak English and she always come in and represent for the WHO and the CDC. But she be coming out and she always used the term compliance. She was always saying, just comply. We need the public to comply. Compliance. That's what they want. They want you to bow down to the image of the beast.
You don't want to think.
They don't want you to think at all. If you start to use your head, you're a threat. Because now we can't use you. We can't control you.
The box said don't do it, then it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So why would you listen? The maker said it don't work. Why would you comply to that?
Right.
It don't work.
Yep. So people, they're like, all right, well, since they said it, we believe it.
Yeah, they claim it as gospel.
Yeah. So I'm gonna read it again, verse 11. It says, "So the Most High will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe these lies." Like when you read it in the KJV, it says that He will give them over to strong delusion that they should believe a lie. So they're these people, as long as they are getting enchanted by Esau's evil, deceptive technology, they're under strong delusion.
Yeah.
Believing everything that they see on the jukebox.
Yep.
You know.
And Esau's taking control of the internet now.
Yep.
So you see the news because when that shit was happening, and that shit was it was like a C19 update every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And now, okay, we know they got control of that, but now they got control of the internet.
Yeah.
What goes up, what is taken down.
Control what words can be tolerated,
Hey, bro.
and what can't.
It's so bad. Hey, we would come out with videos and say certain things. Our videos get stripped down. He'll say the same shit from the news. Bro,
Or use
their footage.
Use it,
You re-upload it on your video and you get strike.
for misinformation.
It just happened to me. I'm like, it's a fucking scientist, man. He knows. Anybody knows. He knows. They just had that test. I don't know if it was Rand Paul one of the guys said. But what they'll do, brothers have literally re-uploaded the video and put the understanding in the title. The devil at it again, spinning his web or whatever, right? Well, to take your shit down.
You can just repost the video from their page, from their channel, not saying nothing. And get it straight.
Same title, everything.
And they're not even striking you for copyright. They striking you for medical
Take it down.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I looked at all of the shit I just went through this. I'm looking at all over the shit that you're doing, that you've been posting, and I don't want your page uploaded. Strike, 3 strikes you're out.
Yeah.
It was bad for a while. But I had 15 pages in the space of a year. So about you.
One more verse. It says, then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth.
That condemns is the second death. Thermonuclear destruction.
Yep.
Because you have pleasure in all this wickedness. You know, like when you go back to the time of Noah wasn't enjoying that shit. Just also in the days of Lot, he didn't have pleasure in that shit. He was adamantly against it. The Lord raised them up and he spoke out and he was cussing them people out just like we do.
Yep.
You know? And notice how those men were spared from the Lord's wrath back then. But the people that came against them, they had pleasure in it. But they didn't realize, especially the sons of God, that they were living a lie. You're a son of the Most High. Sin is not our thing. That's our kryptonite.
Yeah.
We're supposed to live according to the righteous divine order that the Most High set up.
Right.
And we're supposed to uphold that and that standard and govern the world with it.
Yeah, I'm about to say pushing in the earth.
I got to pick something.
Yep.
Revelation 20, I'm going to start at verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. You brothers know where the bottomless pit is at? I know where the bottomless pit is at? Revelation 20 and 1.
Yeah. That's your right.
They have no natural resources.
And a great chain in his hand. And he laid open, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. You know what that goes into?
Half of the guidelines of the answer is part of what you said.
That was supposedly the end of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
But the history eventually it started again, basically. This new Roman Empire.
So the answer is what happened in between. So, do you know what it's called?
The Dark Ages, the Renaissance, supposedly,
That's that down
and some other stuff, which is
That's that
They
down.
made
The Byzantine Empire.
Byzantine Empire.
The Renaissance came right after.
After,
the
yeah.
Byzantine.
That was wicked southern Jake ruling over.
Yeah, yeah.
The northern Jake's already on this side.
Yeah, that's where Jake get that whole Moorish.
Yep.
Moors, yeah.
And we're tied this into that time period when we get tied into
Islam.
Yeah, kind.
Yeah.
Linking up with that, if you read the book of Tobit, Raphael, I think it's Raphael.
Yeah.
Raphael.
The angel. Yeah.
What's the demon name? Osmodeus or something?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Osmodeus.
Yep.
And Raphael basically, when Tobit, was it Tobit or something? I think it was Tobit that having sex with the woman.
Tobias, the son.
Tobias.
Yeah.
Tobias, the angel told Tobias to take the fish guts and burn it or whatever. And the angel Raphael said he was going to bound the demon, Osmodeus. You know?
Because every man that she laid with before that died.
Yeah.
That demon Osmodeus would put that certain man to death.
Before she lay with him.
Yeah.
And it was a lust demon.
Right. And that tells you the right hand is stronger than the left hand. You know? I just wanted to bring that up. Verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So, you know, Esau is ruling the ancient Roman Empire, right? So that's how you can link it up. That's the devil, that's Satan. You know? Esau, Edom, so-called white man. And bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. And then this is that little season, you know, the modern Roman Empire, you know? Which is still a dragon, you know. And,
That's when the deadly wound would get healed.
yep, and his ancient form of media, you know, was that, you know, Cesare Borgia.
Yeah. Nice. A shot.
Yeah, that was an ancient form of media right now.
So when you see this and you see the crucifix, when that was designed, that was the media.
Yeah.
So now you're thinking this man is associated with God. They're building all these cathedrals and shit with this on top, and they're talking about this subject in here, but skewed to their perspective. This is how they deceive the whole world.
Yeah. That was a part of the.
validity of the Bible to tell lies.
Covers the faces of the judges there.
That was part of them taking the covenant in their mouth.
Yep.
Like the scripture say, unto the wicked, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Thou shalt take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction.
Their words of instruction.
Yeah. He
Yep.
went up and he deceived the whole world, man. He put himself up as the people of the Bible, and then once he received the power from upholding himself as that people, he casted the instructions behind him and put his own shit out there, man.
Then but you look at all the time in history where he was killing for the power behind his book. You know, even before the time of the Greeks, he was killing if you had that book.
Yeah, because it goes back into Antiochus Epiphanes, man. When he goes into that decree, he said basically any Jews believing in the law and the covenant of their fathers should be put to death. It's also the decree when he said the women should not circumcise their children. If you find any women circumcising their children, they have to.
Hang.
Yeah.
That's what First Maccabees.
One.
Yeah, one.
Had our people eating chitlins in the temple.
Yeah.
You know?
Bad.
Sacrificing
Everything was bad.
swine's flesh on
They
the
made it a
altar.
delicacy to eat the wrong abominable food in the temple. Think about it. So what are they doing now? They're doing the same thing all over again. They're making the
Take from your
temple,
job.
which is the people, our people now, defile the temple, their bodies, by baking pork and showing delicacies. And our people are gonna always strive to be at the top, feel like they're in the top class, so they're gonna eat it.
Yeah.
They're making it to where you gotta eat it even if you don't want to.
Forcing you, like putting it, hiding it in the form of
Gelatin.
gelatin and
Yeah.
pepsin and
They also do that same thing with shellfish. And they'll contain shellfish. Why do you got shellfish in vitamins?
Yeah.
In nuts, like almonds and
Made in a factory.
Yeah.
Made in a factory that has shellfish and peanuts in it.
processed soy.
Yeah. So, and this is also that same tying into that little season on me. He knows he had but a short time. That little season. Ties all the way back
I
into
think
that.
they is nigga.
No, yeah,
He
they
knows
did.
that the window for him to push his
Probably a
wickedness is
million or
just so
some
small.
or something.
Yeah.
Right? So that was it on the so it ties back into what he was saying about Sodom.
It's 2 Peter 2, starting at verse 6, it's in NLT. Later, the Most High condemned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah and turned them into heaps of ashes. He made them an example of what will happen to ungodly people.
So that example is still sitting there now for the people of today. But what are the people not paying attention to that example? You're not paying attention to that they shouldn't be doing that there's places that got condemned with some of the acts that are in commonplace, in this place, that are upheld in this place. The lifestyles that are upheld in this place now. Because their media, their modern media, makes it to a point of where you believe it's something positive. It's okay to be liberally free. No, man, we want to have rules of discipline and know where boundaries at.
Yeah, because by bounds being established, guess what? The people have a specific order to attend to, man. When you go outside of the bounds, that's how you have shit like this, man.
They call it Pandora's box because there's too many options once you open it. That's what they're trying to open up, the confusion. This brings it back to Babylon the Great.
The fact that it says it's an example shows that the Lord already knew that it was going to happen again. It was going to be more intensified, which is why that second death was necessary. Continuing on, verse 7. But the Most High also rescued Lot out of Sodom because he was a righteous man who was sick of the shameful immorality of the wicked people around him.
Right. And that's why when we go into the book of Revelations, it says, and America symbolizes what? Spiritually Sodom and Egypt. I got another question for you, brothers. What were some sins of Sodom? And if not, if brothers don't know, somebody could go to Ezekiel 16 and I believe it's the 48th or the 49th verse and read it out.
Yep.
Because the same sins that Sodom have are some of the same things that America are guilty of. It's the same things. Same amalgamation of wicked kingdoms. And which one of y'all have it, go ahead, read, call it out and read it.
49.
Yeah, 49.
Ezekiel 16 and 49. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters.
All right, now break down the first two. Break down how the first two sins of Sodom could basically correlate with what's happening here in America. Because it said pride and what else?
Fullness of bread.
Yeah, so go ahead. One of y'all break that down. The pride and fullness of bread. Those two parts.
Pride is like the alphabet people.
Yeah. Also the pride to eat. Pride and what's the other one?
Fullness of
Let me
bread.
say this. Just to add to that about pride, it's when they're not reverencing or having a healthy fear for the creators. That's pride against the Most High. That's when you really start fucking up.
Yeah.
A lot of impiousness. When you impious, that means that there's you don't have a reverence or a fear for a higher power.
Yep.
You know, so you're gonna be proud. You're gonna do what the hell, like the scriptures say when you go to Psalms 14, where it says, the fool have said in his heart, there is no God. But then when you read further on, it continues to say that they have done abominable works. So a person who has the mindset of an individual who don't believe that there is a higher power, they're gonna be able to create their own moral compass. They're gonna be able to decide what's right for them and what's wrong for them.
I believe.
I believe
my truth.
my truth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go about to establish their own righteousness.
Exactly.
Yep.
Not submit themselves to the righteousness of the Most High.
Romans 10.
Yep.
And keep going. And we got, I think, maybe 3 more.
You said fullness of bread.
Fullness of, what is fullness of bread? What does that mean?
Oneness of everything.
Yeah, gluttony. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we live in Vegas.
Yeah.
There's what, buffets every day? And then look at, it's gonna get into it too, because it's gonna say another part of it. It's like, keep reading.
An abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters.
Wait, read it over again.
Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, here in Vegas, what happens with these buffets? You know what they do with the food after the buffet? They throw it in trash bins and they lock them. They lock them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lock those dumpsters that they throw that good food away.
They do that at Whole Foods too.
Yep.
They throw away like fresh produce.
If they say any fruit has, they're basically their guidelines by what constitutes something is sellable is if it has no marks or blemishes on it. So if it has a mark or blemishes, it could be fresh bananas.
Yeah.
And it got a little brown, guess what? They throwing them away.
And even certain foods that it reaches expiration date, they still sell it, but they sell it for a reduced price instead of just giving it away.
Exactly.
Covered with food color.
Yeah. Not only
Preservatives in it.
yeah, but not only the food, like regular goods, like mattresses, clothes. They can't sell it. They just rip get a razor blade and swipe right through it. I seen that shit, and like give that shit away to somebody that need it, or it's kids that need shoes, it's people that need clothes. But no, they rather, if we can't make money off of it, throw the shit away.
Exactly.
Or destroy it, pretty much.
Whatever buy our product if we're giving it away. So
But-
it's all about, but you're throwing it away though.
Yeah, right. You're destroying it.
I think it'd be the opposite though.
Me too.
They you know, if you give somebody your product, they just keep, you know, and word of mouth, you know.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, those that would need it and are able to afford it will keep buying it because it's still a necessity for the people.
Right.
You still need produce. You still need meats. You know, so the people that's able will still buy it. But those that have, those that are without, hey, what's the harm of giving it to them, man? See, back in our group, there's a
welfare
law
system.
stating- what's it?
The welfare
The
system.
welfare system, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't go back and after you pluck the fruit or the crops off of the trees or bush, you can't go back, double back and pick the rest. You have to leave some for those that are without, man. That's how Yahweh Shem Yahshua has set things in order for those for a balance, man.
Even doper about that is that's good agriculture anyway.
Exactly.
Because now the tree is used to producing fruit on it. You strip all the fruit, and it's naked, it's going to feel like it's not supposed to be doing it. But if you leave something, it's going to keep that same flow of nutrients going through it, and it's going to keep producing more and more fruit.
Yeah, and on top of that, the animals that live around. Like my grandma, she had a pomegranate tree, and the biggest pomegranates was always busted first, man. The juicy ones, and you be like, fuck, man, the birds, the pigeons, and got to it. But it's because the birds and pigeons needed that one.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord made sure that they ate those. But it was still always other fruit that was still good, man.
I got a precept real quick for you.
Yeah.
Proverbs 29 and 18 in the NLT. When people do not accept divine guidance, they run wild. But whomsoever obeys the law is joyful.
I got something too. Jeremiah 49:9. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. You know? So it's basically saying, you know, if grape gatherers come, they're gonna, you know, leave some grapes. We was talking about, you know, about the welfare system. You know, but Esau, he's just gonna take everything.
Yeah.
You know, even though he don't need it, he's just gonna take everything.
That's what he's doing with the resources of the earth right now.
That's what happened during both sieges of the temple. When the Babylonians came to get that gold and all the stuff out of there, Esau was right there helping them. And they was trying to help get everything out. That's why they kept saying, raise it, raise it.
Burn
You know?
it, burn it.
They wanted to burn it down and get everything up out of there. Same thing with
70 AD.
70 AD. You know, they wanted to get all that stuff up out of the temple. And then they commemorated it with the Ark of Titus. They plastered it on they carved it on the wall of all the shit that they was taking out of there.
Yeah.
But that just goes back to their corrupt nature of being, you know, they're insatiable. The scripture talk about how, you know, they can never
Have enough?
be satisfied, can
Yeah.
never have enough. You know, so it's the same thing with this society. It's all about decadence. It's about gluttony. It's about just overdoing shit, just doing too much.
Hey, why do you need a buffet that you go get 10 plates?
Bro. And then you have a health crisis.
Yeah.
You say,
This
hey,
is the most obese, I think. This is number one.
Nah, bro, this is
Or New Orleans. I think.
Europe is close,
Definitely.
bro.
Oh, we're talking about countries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like right behind here.
Yeah, I thought you said states. They say New Orleans is the most obese state, but
even in those European countries, there's certain foods that they won't allow.
oh yeah, they don't allow GMOs
Yeah,
and
certain
certain
What's
shit.
the next and where's from here?
Well, I heard somebody say that cause this person they like to travel. He said, I lost weight traveling to other countries, just eating
Probably eating regular too.
regular food, and he said he lost weight just eating regular food in other places.
The,
But then in America,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can't drive back home, bro.
yeah,
There's I was like, go ahead, bro.
I was gonna just add on to what the brother was saying. It was somebody from a different country that moved to America. He said, "Man, I ain't never seen no portions like this back where I'm from."
Yeah.
They're the R&B singer LMA.
Oh yeah.
She said she was like, hey, I hate you know, back in England, you know, I eat what she said, tea and bread every morning for like my breakfast. And she was like, over here I can't do that because the bread is too sweet and salty, man. She's basically saying the bread over here is garbage. And like when you think about it, like we eating bread is like this is sweet. You know, it don't taste like that to us, but when you have real bread, you know, then you
The bread out here has just all the harmful chemicals they put in the foods here.
preservatives.
You know,
Preservatives,
those are
yeah.
banned in most countries. You know, but here they're lobbying. They lobby by the politicians, and therefore they can get away with it.
Yeah.
Well, they get away with the health regulations. You know.
Hey,
That's all it is.
when you eat real, like even if you go to some of these artisan bread places that have better quality bread, it's supposed to go bad fast, and you're supposed to eat it fast,
Right.
and it digests fast.
Yeah, it digests better.
And you think, and you think about the bread that you get in the store, it goes from the factory for however many weeks, maybe sits on the shelf, goes in the truck, then it goes to you in the store, and who knows how long it's been sitting there before you take it and take it home.
Let's act like it's only 3 days to get from the shelf to the store. That other bread will be moldy already.
Right.
You know, real bread.
That's why, you know, in the ancient world, we used to cooking bread every day, right there. We eat it. Yeah. But our women knew how to make bread too.
Read that last verse you just read, because it's one more part of it.
Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. This is verse 50. And they were haughty and committed abomination before me. Therefore I took them away as I saw good.
Yeah, it said, despise the poor. Another scripture, it says, one thing that the Most High hated, the 7 things.
A proud man.
Yeah.
3 things.
Yeah, 3 things, kind of.
Poverty of
A man of war.
Yeah, a man of war that suffers poverty. You know, that's how it goes.
Man of understanding that turneth from
Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
It's like 27 chapters.
And then one of the points is a man of war that suffers poverty, man. Because even here, even in Esau's military, man, you got homeless. How is that?
Same country.
Bro, you go over there fighting,
Life
losing
alive.
limbs,
Yeah.
getting PTSD, and you don't have somewhere to lay your head.
With the nigga Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
That nigga's on the street.
Yeah.
Poor. Poverty.
Yeah, but that was the point of sins of Sodom, man. You know, because hey,
There's a prophecy. I mean, not prophecy. A proverb that says, "He that despises the poor or mocketh the poor, reproacheth his makers."
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to treat the poor like they're, not human.
yeah,
Right.
I got it pretty simple.
That's what this society. You see that even here, right, just in this city.
Yeah.
All that money through these blocks
Bro,
with all this homelessness and poverty.
Yeah.
A few blocks over.
Hey, you got homeless people right next to the White House, man.
Yeah.
Right across the street.
Yeah.
Set up.
The inequality, you know, it's the gap, you know, and then they act like there's not enough to go around for everybody. There's more than enough to go around for everybody, you know. There's no shortage of anything.
Esau is he's just greedy.
Exactly.
He wants everything to himself.
It was Tupac said this. He's like, why do one man, one wife, kid, and a husband need an 8-bedroom house?
Right.
That's one idea. Why do you got these big ass?
You talking about that MTV? It was like a unreleased
Interview.
interview on MTV.
Why
You
is
talking
it?
about Donald Trump and all them and how they got all the, you got all these people starving, but you got this one guy. He got a big ass house with all these rooms.
And
No people to fill
you
it.
think about that one guy that got that big ass house with all them rooms, that's just one of them. He got multiple
I
houses.
was just gonna say, and the other part I was gonna say, there was a statistic that I heard years and years ago. Bill Gates is so rich. This was then before the scandal. He's so rich that if he gave everybody in the world $1, he'd still be the richest man on the planet. That's that one guy, and he's lower
Yeah, he's
level.
not even
Yeah.
That's not anybody with the last name Rothschild.
I heard that a similar thing that you said. They said he's so rich that if $100 bill was on the ground, it wouldn't be worth his time to pick it up.
$100 bill.
That's just a candy wrapper for him.
Yeah.
Nah,
Right.
regular
Why would you? They don't got to see the Rothschilds. They don't have to pay for nothing when they own everything. Why would I have to pay for something when I own the restaurant? Why would I have to pay for gas when I own the gas station or whatever it is?
It's a whole another level of bullshit. But they manipulate it and they make it wicked against you. So now you're also paying for theirs. When they want to dip into it.
Yeah.
Sirach 13:19 says, and I'll read 22. As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor.
Mm-hmm.
As the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor.
God.
That's the state of the world right now, you know. It's the mega wealthy, rich trillionaires, and everybody else at the bottom, man. And we see how hateful, what is the product of that hate. You know, we see the inequality. We see the way people are struggling to live day by day. Okay, depending on multiple incomes just to be able to afford rent. You know, you can't even have a normal family because the pressure of money it's breaking up families.
Mm-hmm.
It's breaking up households. Okay, that's the result of these rich, wealthy, wicked rulers that control these banking systems, that control the industries.
Yep.
Okay, that control
Corporations.
the corporations. That's how they get down. You know, they have no pity on the poor. None. They cut us no slack. You know, if we're late for a payment on a
Anything.
service, what happens? It gets shut off.
Late payment.
What did he say on
All of this.
Goodfellas? If you get the money, pay me. If you don't get the money, fuck you, pay me.
When you can't borrow another dollar, that's the whole thing of Esau. Blow the joint.
When the poor need a bailout, nah, you don't get no bailout.
Yeah. Like you said,
You know?
when the poor needs a bailout, they tell you, pick yourself up by your
Bootstraps, yeah.
Hey, you know that's impossible, right? You can't pick your own self up by trying to pick up your boots. That means you have to float.
Pick ourselves up by the bootstraps when you had basically a 500-year head start on, you know, everything.
They control the system that keeps you in poverty, that keeps you below that line. You know,
The word system means fix.
It's all by
They create
design.
these systems to keep you on the bottom and have not.
Mhm.
Even when they give you the settlement control, but even when they give you the lowest of the lowest, when you're living in these projects and the lowest quality food and all that, it's just a pit. They're so deep with it, they want you to be deep in the trench or the pit so bad that you only go from the trench to the hospital, long drawn out death, so you would never get healthy and rebel and milk all your money going through that medical system, and then you die. What you were gonna do anyway? All because they started weakening you from birth with all the chemicals they're putting in you. I mean, the scriptures, they have gotten us in every way.
Yeah.
Every way. Any wickedness they could have put on the people, it's been happening to us.
Hey, and it's gonna get worse, man.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna get worse. And that's why we're telling you, hey, you wanna fight? Hey, this is the only place that the fighting is going to have actual action, man. Because it's not a physical fighting. You know, because you're not whooping this, you're not beating this man physically.
No.
Hey, Yahweh Shai has to take this devil down, man. And if you're not sick, we always say, man, if you're not sick and tired of this place, hey, then you're gonna be destroyed with it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing here is built for you. Hey, the scripture tells us this is not our rest. You know? And there's multiple precepts on this, man. We can go into the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. Brother, want to grab that Luke 16? But you have to go ahead.
Yeah. Classic, right? Isaiah 10,
Yeah.
1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. So they're already in a deficiency position, and you're going to take advantage of it to their detriment. How bad is that? That's what this man does. That's what the system is set up to do.
Was that interest on loans and things like that?
Yeah.
You know, if you borrow money, he's like, okay, well, we're gonna tax that. We're gonna tax the 200, 500 that we give you. So by the time you want to pay, you're gonna owe $620, not just $500.
You should see the I forgot the name of it, but it shows you how much you would end up paying, like for your house. You get a mortgage by year 2050. It'll show you how much interest you paid. Say you paid $250,000 for the house. You didn't pay $800,000, $600,000 by the time you end up paying all that shit off. That's you could have bought fucking 3 houses. But that's how this devil does with with
have it up front.
unrighteous decrees, their law and everything.
Hey, and really, their laws are so wicked and crooked and deceptive. Jake is starting to find out how to get into their paperwork.
Yeah.
But it's too little, too late now.
Jake trying to
Moore's law and all kinds of shit.
they're trying to find little shit like
but like that whole one of them
Yeah.
says if you want to buy a house, you don't pay on the price of the house. You pay on the principal interest. I forgot how it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
And then you own the house, you end up paying less, and you keep all the money in your pocket, and they never come take the house because you're living in it. And you can that way you borrow on that money that the house is worth, and you never put out no money. So now you keep your money that they loaned you or that they gave you, and now you have the house to build money off.
Right,
of.
right.
So you're just living a rich lifestyle.
It sounds good,
without ever
though.
having money.
But look how long
But-
that information took to come out.
Exactly.
Man.
You know, but now at this point,
And I'm sure I mixed it up a little bit, man.
but nevertheless, Still, they didn't know this 50, 100 years ago.
It could have mattered.
Jake don't realize that does not going to work for you. It's not going to work. You're not about to go up here to Esau and say, well, this law, give me a house. Or I seen some shit where a nigga said, you ain't got to put no money down on the car. So you still got to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, like niggas is always trying to find some loophole or trying to find some way to get over it. Stop it. It's not going to happen. We it's just a setup, man.
50, 60 years ago, the family, man and a wife, had 2 children. Man just had one job, and he pay off his house, pay off a car, pay off the college with that one income.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are all wiles that this man has set up method to train his
How's it go?
particularly Jake.
I know. So Proverbs 29 verse 7. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know.
Yeah. Hey, the common man's problem aren't looked at with care, man. They're not attended to because Esau don't care about the common man. He don't care about Jake, man. Look how far he's come to break you down. Hey, he's removed your father out of homes. So now that your mother is only raising both the son and the daughter, the son becomes effeminate, the daughter is extremely masculine, and that pattern repeats, man.
Sorry, I got to research. Oh, you was reading?
No.
Yeah, I was talking about the mortgage, right? Ecclesiasticus 21:8. He that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial.
That's all you're working for, man. You're working yourself to death to pay off some debt.
Yeah.
You know?
Pay off debt with debt.
Exactly, you know?
That's your
It
dollar
makes no
bill.
sense. You get sick younger, you die younger because your mind is thinking, man, I can't miss today. I need to come up with this money. It's just, you're all chasing your own tail in this place, man.
You're on the hamster wheel.
You know?
Running your heart out and ain't going nowhere.
Oh, and also in that, time. You don't have time.
The most valuable thing is time.
Yeah, you don't have time for your needs. If you have children, guess what? You're being attentive unto their needs. If they gotta go to the doctors, if they gotta go to the dentist, whatever health complication they may have. So, hey, you're slowly decaying. You know, the parents don't really pay attention to their health. You know, because they don't have the time to. They're at work. They gotta go pick up kids, drop kids off, take them to activity, pick them up from there. By the time you're done with that, it's 8, 9 o'clock. Oh, you didn't cook? Go buy fast food.
Yeah, man.
We know there's nothing good in there.
Bro.
The system's created to wear you out.
Yep.
You know? And that's scriptural, you know?
Yep.
This man is trying to wear us out. That's what he's doing. Trying to get us to conform and to finally just break and go to him. You know? Go to him. Yes, master. We'll do whatever you say. We'll take your Jews. We'll take your imprint. We'll put on your name. You know? That's what it's doing. It's making you. It's forcing you to crumble. You know, it's making you crumble so that you don't have any power. You know, everything that's worth something, he has taken it for himself. Everything.
And even when you do get, you come into some money, you come into some riches or whatever, there's no resting with that. You probably become even worse.
Yeah.
If you an Israelite.
Fuck yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because like the brother was speaking how the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. You got a lot of Jakes that are rich, that are wealthy, but it's going to come a point for in order them to keep their wealth, to keep their riches, you're going to have to conform with the alphabet soup, and ultimately the CHIP. You know, so like the brother was saying,
a slave for it.
Yeah,
it doesn't even stop for you.
No.
See, the elites, they can chill all day long. They ain't never got to do shit. but he's, you know, multi, you know, Jake making 7, 8 figures. You still gotta work. You still gotta maintain. You still it's extra shit behind maintaining that lifestyle.
And just like Jay-Z. Jay-Z just had a concert in France. He worth 1.5, 2 billion.
Yeah.
He can just sit down and chill, but he still gotta do performances.
Hey, you still gotta be a monkey.
Yeah.
You know, you still gotta be a source of entertainment.
Beyonce, she just performing with in Dubai, right?
Because she had to. Let's not forget that. She had to do that, man. You know?
Rihanna, she was sitting on her ass for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
She had to entertain for the Super Bowl.
Pregnant.
Yeah.
I got real quick. Sirach 31, starting at 1. It says, "Watching for riches consumeth the flesh, and the care thereof driveth away sleep.
Yeah.
Watching care will not let a man slumber, as a sore disease breaketh sleep.
Yeah.
The rich have great labor in gathering riches together, and when he resteth, he is filled with his delicacies, or it's like his delicates. The poor laboreth in his poor estate, and when he leaveth off, he is still needy." Yeah.
Matter of fact, you go and read down for me.
I got that Luke 16 for you.
I got it. Oh, go ahead.
I got to put that down.
I got
Sirach 39 and 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water,
Yep.
fire, iron, and salt.
Yeah, by the way, all of these things are corrupted now, man. Under Esau. Can you read the story again?
The principal things for the whole use of man's life
Yep.
are water, fire, iron, and salt.
Hey, water is tainted because what? He takes it from his natural reserves, his lakes, his rivers. He's dumping it into these big old trucks, the same trucks that contain petroleum and milk. You know, these are the same ones that's carrying your water. He's dumping them into factories, filling them up with contaminants and different chemicals to try to sterilize the water when it was already fresh and running and pure where it was. He's bottling it and silica, plastic.
Let's go back. Let's go
Yeah,
back.
let's go way back.
When he came over here and he finally got this land, a lot of these rivers was filled with
Gold and silver.
and silver.
Yeah,
Those are
gold.
natural minerals that purify. The filtering system.
Yeah.
He once he got all that, took all that out of there, the water wasn't as pure.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't even him that took it out,
Yeah.
he put slavery on the northern kingdom to take it out, man.
Yeah.
That's where the Ecumeniendas come from, man. You know, so he forced so-called
Gadites.
Gadites and Reubenites. Hey, he put y'all on plantations and forced y'all to strip the rivers of the resources, man. That's how it got out of there. You know?
Even certain creatures that's in the water to filter the water. And then removing them at large quantity.
Yep.
Yeah, shrimps, the scavengers
Yeah.
of the bottom.
Shrimps, plankton.
Yep. Clams,
Yeah.
scallops.
Hey, did y'all see that video of this dude? He said something about, got the water shortage now, he said, ain't no such thing as a water shortage because he said something about it's water under the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seen that?
Yep. It's places in Africa where it looks like a deserted land on top. You know, the crust of the earth is broken up underneath it. It's fresh water, man.
Yeah, you dig deep enough, you get water.
Yep.
That's where they got whales.
So that, you understand that sound like the truth because if you know scriptures before the flood of Noah, they were talking about the condition of the earth. There were no major bodies of water, but there were springs and a cool mist that went over the earth.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. So it supports the fact that there was once water down, inside the earth before it expanded into the continents that we know today.
If a new discovery happens from the earth where some new resources found, he's going to be there immediately.
Already.
Claiming it as his,
Surprised he ain't got into Uganda yet.
No, Chinese.
Yeah.
Where was that at? Where they found that I don't know if it was a rock or some kind of stone, and it had an electric current coming from it.
I knew you were talking about. I seen it.
Found vibranium.
Yeah, all right.
I'm being funny.
But they call it another thing. I forgot.
But that's how this man how got down, you know. He plunders and pillages, you know, the whole earth. The whole land masses get plundered and pillaged by this man. He goes over there and he freaking runs through it. He takes all the goods and destroys the people that are living there. That's how he gets
He
them.
brings so-called freedom.
Yeah.
That's just
In
freedom.
democracy.
That's just democracy, you know. For a long time, people thought democracy was a good thing. No. Now people are realizing that democracy means dropping bombs on your cities. That's what democracy means. Destroying cities. Destroying nations.
Democracy now, it's funny. And actually, as I was thinking about what the guy from Ghana said, I forgot who he was, but I think he was like the president or somebody. I don't know who it was. But he said, how democracy? I thought democracy was the majority of the people's who rule. Well, everybody, the way that everybody votes, but the majority of everybody, what everybody has to go with. He said, but how is democracy, which is like the new definition, how is it that the vast minority gets to be equal and make the decisions for the majority? That's not democracy. That's pretty much what it is. You have to follow whatever the ones that are thinking with the best intentions in life are thinking with. So those elite are few elite out there. They're coming up with the worst ways to live and pushing that lifestyle on the people. You know, people don't want it.
That's what you call not a democracy, but an oligarchy.
Mm-hmm. Oligarchy, yeah.
That's an oligarchy.
Oligarchy.
You know, you being controlled by one small group with all the power.
Mm-hmm. They monopolize everything.
Come.
You thinking it said they put an end to monopoly supposedly, but they just the same person owning both of the companies.
Yep.
You know?
Both rival companies.
Yeah.
Those at the table. Yeah, those at the table. Man. The high table.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pepsi and Coca-Cola probably ruled by the same.
Oh, right, right, yeah.
That's what I thought.
And then-
they own cola.
And then have a nigga tasting it and see which one is different.
Yeah, got you buying both. That shit happened. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You told us which is better, our new improved Pepsi. Dumb shit, man. But we're just showing you the reality of the things that we're talking about coming to place.
Ezekiel 28, starting at verse 5.
Wait,
Start
is
at
that 4? Is that 4?
28.
Yeah, 28, 4 and 5.
Verse 4. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver.
Can you start at like
Yeah,
one?
yeah, I was thinking.
Top.
Yeah.
Start from the top. The word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus saith the Lord of power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God.
Right, there goes that pride that we just spoke on back in Ezekiel 16. Everything coming back around.
I sit in the seat of the Most High, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God. Thou that, though
Everybody
thou,
loves a proud man that is humble. Everybody loves to see that. Everybody will boost you up to be proud even, to see you get humbled by whatever.
Oh yeah.
They don't want to, he don't ever think it's going to happen to him. So that's why he set himself up to where he can never be challenged. But that's why he's going to get to a level, he's damn near there, that only the Most High can humble.
Or it says that in Romans, basically what he told Pharaoh, I'll raise you up.
Yeah.
For this reason.
Yeah.
So I'll raise you up in this power, so I can make my
Power known.
my name known.
Yeah.
You know.
it says, though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel, there is no secret that they can hide from you. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
It says, and by thy wisdom and by thy traffic. My brother grabbed that word traffic. Hey, but that's exactly how he has gotten his gain, man. Hey, through rape, robbery, and murder, man. Hey, he subdued Jake. Hey, and he only subdued us due to the fact that we were disobedient unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know? Hey, because this is our punishment. So we have the basis of men ruling over us. That's why the scripture tells us in the book of Ecclesiastes, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're the princes. Hey, but we're serving. Hey, the servant, man.
Hey, no, Rothschild's name used to be
Bauer.
Bauer,
Yep.
which means peasant.
Yep, it means peasant, man.
What more word could you use to mean servant than the word peasant?
It's the only known.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the word for traffic in the blue letter. It says merchandise, traffic, trade.
Hey, and that's a testament of the power of the Lord. That he took that peasant and he made him the ruler of the world.
Yep.
You know?
One that can't be taken down but by him.
Yeah.
A peasant.
The lowest of the low of all people. Made him proud.
Hey, this is the two rags to riches story. Eve is a true rags to riches story.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna be an even greater
Two
rags to
times.
riches story.
And he went from the Esau, Edom to, you know, the Grecians, the Romans. Then he was back in the caves, and he rose up again.
Oh yeah, we had them subdued under David.
Yeah.
He popping their women, had them serving and working for him.
Yep.
Put garrisons in their land, did all that, man. They were nobodies. And then, you know, after Israel became wicked, Esau started rebelling. The nations, the Lord started raising them up. They came into power, and Esau ended up getting his reign. You know.
Yeah.
Then he went into, you know, darkness for a while, and that's when we put his ass, you know, in subjection.
Mm-hmm.
His ass ran up in them caves. We had to civilize him. We had to sanitize him.
Yep.
Speak.
Yeah.
Phonics.
Yep.
Basically, languages.
Grave like
Yeah. We braid around the what is it?
The
brambles. It's another word.
Job 30.
Yeah,
He braided
Braid.
the bush.
The bush.
Yeah, languages like English, Russian, French, Spanish.
Con.
It all came
That was
from
all
us. Yeah. It all came from us, man.
And universities came from Jake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We see back in that time of around that same period, the Dark Ages, is when a bunch of math and sciences were basically extended, so to speak.
But then he'll say civilization started with the Greeks. You know?
Yeah.
They claim to be the smartest people on the earth. They know it all. He has an answer for everything.
even if it's just a theory.
You know? This man has an answer for everything.
Thanks.
Alright, you brothers got precepts too, bring them out.
Son, you need more of this water in there too.
Back to the Sirach 39, start over at verse 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape.
Hey, honey is destroyed because the bee population is being eradicated right before our faces. You know, it said flour, and we understand what just happened in the bread basket of the earth was Russia and Ukraine, man. They supplied the world with a third of the grain, man. You know, so that conflict over there destroyed, you know, really the bread basket, man.
The central, middle America, I say, has had floods, and even California, middle California, just was underwater.
Mm-hmm.
The central California is all up underwater right now. Right now, all them crops gone.
Yeah.
Key crops. You know, this is to institute complete control of all the resources, to where you gotta go. Everybody has to go to him for the one of all things. Especially you, Jackson. Especially you. So you'll take whatever he says to get a resource. But if he choose to kill you, if he choose to make you a slave or resist him, whatever, you're at his mercy.
blood of the grape, and oil and clothing.
Wine is destroyed. Hey, because the scriptures tell us that it took 2 men to carry a bushel of grapes, man. Now you hold the grapes like this. You know? You go to the grocery store and get a whole bushel. Just on your hand, man.
No season.
No seeds. You know? So that means the wine is destroyed too. Hey, look at when you brothers have time, look at the world's most expensive wines, man. And see whose names are on them. Exactly. Yeah. They own the world's most expensive wine.
And they destroy the wines because they spray a lot of the majority of the grapes with the pesticides. You know?
Yeah, like one thing too, like you know, because through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemina Shah, you know, we watch a bunch of things on nature and animals and things like that. Up in I believe it's Japan, a certain part of Japan, they basically make these crop these grapes. And these grapes are like super dark. They look like burgundies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And each grape is like, you know, huge. They're like this big, man. You know, now that's not the state that they once were in, hey, but it's better. And they have them basically in a controlled environment. They taking care of these grapes. You know, they have no pesticides on them. They're using fresh water. Hey, but that's not the majority though. That's just that single. I think they say one cluster of them grapes is like $60 to $70, man. Yeah.
Hey, remember that the wildfires in California back in, like, let's say 2017? It was a lot of wildfires that was happening up in Napa Valley.
Yeah.
Napa Valley is mostly known for its
Winery.
its wineries and vineyards. That shit got burnt up. You know?
Now
Yeah.
it's underwater.
Kind.
Half a decade later, it's underwater.
Back in Sirach 39 and 27, all these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil.
This is
And it's like it. Remember, what was I'm gonna ask y'all brothers, what was the blessing that was given to Esau?
it's another.
But that was that's
He was
part of
ruled.
it. But what was the
It's his husband.
Yeah.
the fatness of the earth, and also what the dew of heaven, going into the earth's resources. You know, oil, minerals,
Everything you just
crops,
read in that
grains.
list.
That was actually given to Esau in his blessing. But to show you how much of an asshole he is, he has complete control over it. But look what he decides to do with it.
Ruined
He wants to ruin it, and he wants to be a nigger about it.
it.
Yeah, especially like what you said with that oil industry and petroleum. The oil and petroleum industry is crazy, man. It's not because what they do is that whole process of fracking, which is just one process of them, you know, bringing the oil back into the earth. They're pumping like this water, but it's water tainted with chemicals. They're pumping that into earth in order to basically push the oil back out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, once they get that oil, one thing that they do, they burn off the natural gas of that oil, which produces methane, man. And what they say about the methane is that it can be actually collected and sold, but he just lets the shit go in the air because they say it's still a market for it, but he don't see enough gain from it. So it just pumped back into the earth, you know?
And they dig deep. And
Yeah.
for the fracking, they like,
Yeah, because it's horizontal drilling.
Yeah.
But what they do is they'll separate it by, let's just say, 500 feet or whatever, right? And each drill will have its own basically pillar, but it's taking up all the horizontal oil deposits that's within it, man. You know? So he's literally stripping as you say, when we don't put on oil or whatever brothers use, and you become ashy, your skin start cracking, you know, you may get health problems. And well, that's the same with the earth. When the oil is being stripped of the earth, guess what? It becomes ashy, so to speak, man. And that's where you have the tectonic plates moving, all bumping up into each other.
Yeah.
Earthquakes, you know, seismic activity. That's because this devil's destroying everything.
and they drill heavy in the oceans.
Yeah.
If you look at a company like Shell and what they've done in South and Central America, most of South America, and they destroy whole ecosystems.
Is Shell owned by BP, British Petroleum? Because BP owns a lot of the gas stations. You know, it's because like I think it's BP, Exxon. It's like we know it's the same one Edomite own all that shit, but
Yeah, the whole ecosystem can be wiped out by these corporations, these oil corporations.
Con, you could, I've literally, like, and I know what videos you're talking about. It's literally videos of, the pipes breaking, that's the transporting the oil, and literally all you see was green. Next thing you know, it's all covered in just oil, man.
Covered in oil.
It's unrecoverable after that point, man.
yeah.
Jeremiah 51:25. Behold, I'm against thee, O destroying mountain. And mountain represents government. And Jeremiah 51, that goes into Babylon, which is America. Saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. Yeah, make this American government a burnt mountain. How's that? Let's get into it. Scriptures always get into it. The thermonuclear destruction.
Right.
The Lord got prepared for this place.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's gonna be a beautiful thing. The Lord destroy this place, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like a breath of fresh air. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for the earth.
This is Ecclesiastes 9, chapter 5, verse 9. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field.
Yeah. Hey,
It's like the profit of the earth. That means the resources will never go out if you use it righteously.
Yeah.
Everybody can have abundance, man.
The earth is supposed to profit you.
There you go. You got it.
Let me read up 8, because we were talking about this, and then we'll come back down to 9. Verse 8 says, if thou seest the oppression of the poor, and violent perverting of judgment, and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter. For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. Talking about all of this is set up this way for everybody to rule, because the Most High has it set up this way. Certain kings and are being wicked or being righteous, whatever the case that they were set up for, they were set up for a reason. Now, it goes into this. It says,
Real quick, can I get another translation real quick? Ecclesiastes 5 and 8. This is in the NLT. And it says, don't be surprised if you see a poor person being oppressed by the powerful, and if justice is being miscarried throughout the land. For every official is under orders from higher ups, and matters of justice get lost in red tape and bureaucracy.
so when we talk about it's not simply numbers, the Most High wants it. He can pay everybody to be above the poverty line and still be the elite.
Yeah.
Of the earth.
Can pay off all the debt.
Yeah, well, everybody's good. He can really hit the reset, especially with this fake ass digital money that ain't nothing. It's made out of thin air anyway. So they don't have a means to give it to you, but that's why they gotta come with a credit system, social credit system. If you act obediently, they'll give you a little bit more. That's the only thing that they can merit you to get you to earn into their system. Now here's the crazy part. For all the money that they can spread around, they just won't do it. Because the Most High has them being this way on purpose, showing you how not to be a nigger and stingy, how not to rule. Our law and righteousness was to make sure everybody in the nation was taken care of. So he can put away evil from amongst Israel.
Yeah.
It says that you read our laws, a lot of those immoral deeds that it was talking about, you would judge it a certain way to put evil from amongst our people, so nobody would do it. But this man has it to where he's doing it, and now you're gonna continue to do it all the way down too.
Right.
When you become the like whatever level you on, like the brother broke down. Now you're oppressing, then he's oppressing you. No different than the overseer on the plantation.
Yeah.
The Jake that runs, It just goes
Everybody
on
that
what
has,
we
it's
talked
always a chain of command. Everybody has somebody over them.
Remember that lesson you did on the Chinese on how they Esau made them basically wouldn't give them loans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So they was able to come to Jake's neighborhoods and take all the wealth out of Jake. You know. Yeah.
Huh?
They'll set up their businesses right where Jake is at. Jake give them that money. And they don't, and they take that money and they don't put it back into the community. They go and take it and bring it to their own. So that shows you Esau is he's at the top of it all, man. He's the overseer of all this wickedness, and he keeps it growing. He keeps it going because it benefits him.
At least for now. I was wondering why I cut off that food.
It all benefits him at the end of the day. But see, that's why he's going to be held accountable for all this too. He might be enjoying it just for the moment, but hey, like the scriptures say, an affliction of 1 hour can cause a man to forget all that pleasure. That's what's going to happen when he finally gets stripped of his power. Because you did all this wickedness in the earth. All right, you got the whole earth in the palm of your hand, and here it is. It like something is like totally like that's what the scriptures say. The soul that is within them that's lifted up is not upright in them. You got all this and you still want to be wicked. You still want to be evil. You still angry.
You run what 40, 60, something like that % of the earth. Why you gotta have rest? You want every inch.
This nigga wants space.
Yeah.
They like buying real estate on the moon and shit.
Yeah, like for real. He's really doing building space stations to be up there. Like what the fuck? That ain't enough. It's never enough. This is showing you. But what did the scripture say? Like Paul even quoted, to be content whatever the state I be in.
Yeah.
Whether I have abundance or whether I have little. This man is never satisfied. No matter what he got it all. Don't he act poor? The rats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Motherfuckers act the poor. They be stingy as fuck. And they got it.
They fooled the whole world into believing that they were, living lowly and poor.
Mm-hmm.
But they had self-imposed ghettos.
Yeah.
They built that shit
to save money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They chose to live like that. Yeah. It wasn't pushed into that environment.
And all the income they had was still coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. But they did that and took away all the resources and all the money, all the real, what's the word? Substance, that's a good word. All the substance of that life for us. And they put us in here.
Hey, you remember like a few years back where it was, this is when they was throwing that anti-Sims card, they was pushing that agenda heavy, leading up to that New Jersey shooting. But it was reports that these the small hats, I want to say were they the acidic Jews?
Talking about over in the land?
But it was over in here in the States. You had skirmishes between Jake and the small hats in Brooklyn and also in New Jersey.
Oh yeah, because of gentrification.
They was gentrifying the areas where Jake is living at, and these small hats, they had their own neighborhood, but they was coming and moving to where Jake was at, and they was trying to force Jake up out of there. They was saying, "Hey, let us buy this property for this amount," and Jake like.
They didn't want to sell.
No, we don't want to. No, we don't want you to buy. This is our property.
And that was anti-Sims.
Yeah. You denying them the property that they was trying to buy so that they could turn your community out. That became an anti-Semitic situation. Because they started to play victim, like, oh, these people, they don't like us, we're oppressed, they hate us, they don't want us in the neighborhood.
You conversations.
Yeah. But the media was advertising it like it was, one-sided, like Jake was just bullying them and oppressing them.
Yeah. I remember seeing that.
Putting hands on them. But they were the ones that was being forceful, man.
There was some Jakes.
No, there was some incidents where Jake was.
But I want to make understand is why. Jake was mad because they was coming into their neighborhood. Some people would sell in the neighborhoods to take being drugs and all types of shit. So they come and bring money to the hood, these Starbucks or whatever the hell else, buying up property, renovating. Now Jake can't afford to live there or won't get hired to work there no more. So Jake is pushed out their own neighborhoods. This is where I live and where I grew up. My whole life is centered around this. And you pushed me out and left me in the gutter? Of course he's gonna be upset and frustrated. You know? What do you expect was gonna happen? Where else can you go? I'm established in this borough in New York. Now you're pushing me out to where I got nothing.
Nothing.
They come in and build $1 million condos in your neighborhood. Like, okay, we don't have that money.
Yeah. What are you building that for? Who's
Yeah.
gonna live in there?
Yeah.
We got people.
They're buying up everything. So where we gonna live at?
Yeah.
Where we gonna have our communities?
You get pushed to the even lower level of being at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know?
I got a quick script on that. Isaiah 5 and 8. Woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. That's what Esau do. He'll just buy up a whole community and move all the people out, gentrify it, and now he owns all that. And now the people are just, that were once there, they're destitute.
Yeah. They can't afford the rent.
Yeah.
They damn sure can't have money to buy a house, buy property.
Yeah, they foreparents probably, you know, when the property, the property value was different and it was it cost less to purchase it.
Yeah.
Their grandparents bought that property.
But you know,
They're trying to now, so they're trying to maintain and keep it. And here you are coming. Well, can we buy it from you for this price? No, we're not gonna sell this to you.
yeah, and it's been in the family.
Yeah.
What it's so bad in New York is you can kind of grandfather your apartment even if you're renting it to, you know, a family member, because they put like a lease like 20 years because Esau was doing that where they would never leave, like whether it be Manhattan, upper Harlem, certain rich areas where you just grandfather in to a family member. Jake ain't got no money like that, but you know, Esau has made certain loopholes out there for that, you know, for that type of shit.
And you got Edomites in the suburbs mad as fucking Jake for moving out there.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
we supposed to go?
Yeah.
You know? I got one right quick. You got one?
Yeah, that was it.
Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their heads. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
Yep.
And now that they didn't, like they're talking about the melting pot, right? They melt everybody in, but who's dominant? You think a dominant culture would withstand, but we had ours erased. The richest part of our history has been erased. So what culture or what heritage are we gonna pass, you know, are we gonna bring to the table for that melting pot? They bring their shit that's made up, fableized, you know? They bring that right into the system. Now you gotta live by their rules, and guess who's ruling in their rules? Them.
Yeah.
You gotta play by their rules.
And our history only goes
Go
back
to Africa.
to Africa. That's as furthest they give us. You know.
When Jake discovered we was in Egypt, like Jake don't even know what that means.
Right.
So how do I find it? We go back to Egypt, Asiatic.
Go back to Esau.
Right.
Esau broke down them hieroglyphics and shit. They got this new show called Cleopatra with some mulatto type bitch, mixed type bitch.
Yeah.
Like Cleopatra was an Edomite, man.
Yeah.
Well, she was the daughter of Ptolemy, man. Edomite.
Show you
But
the ignorance of these people.
Yeah, but that's a new mind that's coming out. Cleopatra was black.
Yeah. And niggas like to watch these shows where they do put some type of history in it, but they try to take that like a show and say, "Oh, that's what it was. That's how it is," without right. So, and 75% is entertainment, 25% may be actual facts.
And let's not act like they doing this with another. I'm trying to think of his son. What's the name of this new Bible thing they're pushing again right now?
Who?
You know, there's always a new Bible movie that come out around Easter every couple of years. There's this new one that they're pushing out. Well, yeah, Howard Shy, but it's JC though. You know, they got one of them going around right now too. You can see the advertisements on YouTube and different platforms. They always push it out with these movies, and then we pick up the movie and believe that's the way it was in reality. But this is why we're out here breaking those strongholds, man. This is part of those wiles and devices that they use in their witchcraft, that they use, philosophy that they use to deceive the people by keeping themselves still in power. This is all still them using all the trickery and everything they got, man, against us. And it's working. But there is a remnant that's gonna wake up out of this.
It's called the J-word revolution.
Something, man. I just seen it. It seemed like a few times on YouTube. Like, damn.
That's the three foul spirits, the frogs, right? Or through the military, through the economical, you know, through the city of London, Washington D.C., and the Vatican.
That might be it.
You know, those are the three main systems that rule this world. You know, religion,
False prophet.
the dollar, and war. That's what profits.
Why is every war America's in not America's fault? That ain't obvious. Everywhere there's a conflict, they're there to bring democracy. They're never there to do no harm. They're always there to help. We'll find us there first. Their speeches say shit like that. They'll be there to save the unsavable.
Liberating people, you know?
Yeah.
They're really there
Protecting democracy.
Okay, you gotta know this about this place, man. Everywhere they go, they're pillaging. That's why they're there. They're not there for nothing else.
They have a interest, not economical. What's the word? Capital interest.
They're
You know,
protecting America's interests.
Yeah.
You know, that's foreign relations.
Yeah. The interest is rooted in money, pretty much.
Yep.
You know.
And by default, a lot of our people are guilty of it too, because they want to protect their way of life, whatever, you know, the good life they think they're living here.
Right.
You know, they join the military too. They go and fight these wars. You know, so but they're guilty also.
One more verse on this. Verse 3. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, for which they shall not remove their necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. Alright, this is all set up to play out a certain way, man. The Most High to make sure it ends in that way. This man have to get the highest height of pride and wickedness against him, so that when the day comes, man, this man falls, the whole world is on notice that he made this happen. That he devised this whole setup so we would learn evil and good.
Yeah.
And then the evil will be put out to earth.
Yeah, because it's gonna be like this man. He's gonna be like Goliath, you know, standing.
Yep.
Like who's gonna challenge me?
Yep.
You know, calling out. You know, proud. And then that's when Yahweh Shai is gonna come into the picture.
And like what David said
Yeah.
in that moment, he said, "We be with the Most High. Who can stand against us?"
Yep.
Something roughly like
Hey,
that.
David took down Goliath with the stone.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
How are the kingdoms of this world going to be taken down? How is that image broken? That stone, man. You know, so everything is going according to prophecy. Everything is going to the algorithm of Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
Okay? Everything is right on time. The prophecies, the visions, they're all coming to pass. They might seem like they're taking a little while, but they're happening. You know, they're gonna happen. You know that for sure. The words of the Lord are faithful and true. Okay, everything that's written in this book is gonna happen because the Lord said things that happened before, and they happened. You know, the things that are happening now, where he talked about it from the beginning. Okay, so this word is bulletproof, man. This word is alive.
Yeah, when these plagues come, man, just know you know make sure yourself, you know, look within yourself, examine yourself, that you're blameless, man. You know, the Lord gonna protect you. You know? But when it comes, it's gonna be hell, man. It's gonna be very scary. You know?
You gotta say that prayer, created within me a clean spirit.
Yeah.
You know?
Those righteous ideas come, man. You gotta follow those. And that righteous person come, man. You gotta follow them.
Can't let pride creep in. You know, the Lord hates a poor man that is proud.
Yeah, this is a time of grace. You know? Grace period.
Listen, Habakkuk chapter 2, and start at verse 2. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, it will, it's like, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Right? Behold, the soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. We quoted some of these, right? But the just shall live by his faith. Yet also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. This is saying everything we've been saying in the day, right? It says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a proverb against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. The debt, man.
Yep.
He just keep bringing up monetary debt and spiritual debt as well. He owed for all the wicked shit he been doing. He got debt, man. People gonna come and get him. The Most High is gonna send him angels, man. And really clean house.
Yeah, these nations, they've been seeing the amount of debt that he's accumulated to himself. All this military spending, you know, all this quantitative easing, but yet all that debt you're using to hold over the world as the world reserve currency. It's just dominating every other currency. But they're saying how recklessly you're spending it and printing it out.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it was naturally was.
Yeah, it's not right.
This ain't right. So now you're seeing these nations are beginning to rebel against this man. They don't want nothing to do with your currency. They don't want nothing to do with your GMOs. They don't want none of that shit.
Your alphabet.
Your alphabet, agenda,
Yeah.
and the fact that you've been making deals and treaties with these other countries while enforcing your policies, and you've been oppressing the world. So nations want out. Even your own allies at some point, they just gonna say, man, the hell with this shit.
Canada's supposed to be your closest ally. You know, they doing deals with China.
Yeah.
What Mexico trying to
Yeah.
break all deals?
Mexico wanted to be a part of the
Yeah,
BRICS.
Mexico.
Yeah.
I ever heard of one day in the end. I tell you the truth.
Mexico ain't up with what, 5 hours, 6 hours away?
Yeah.
Driving.
Yeah. They all are sending their requests and putting in their applications.
I want to be with them.
Because they know when it finally hits this place, you know, because the Lord getting ready to throw this place a sombrero, man. Like, and they try to get out of Dodge before it hits them. So they're like, no, let's, we see what the BRICS is doing. They got an alternative currency, and it's backed by gold and silver resources, and they got the energy. All these motherfuckers over here trying to deplete us of the energy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. The more until you that increase, what isn't yours? That's that taunting proverb, man. These nations are getting sick and tired of your shit, man. You don't own the whole earth. The Lord gave it into your hands, but you don't own it. All the things of the earth and the fullness thereof is of the Lord's. He act like he created the heavens and the earth.
Yeah, but he was that first spirit.
Yeah.
The way you're ruling the earth is set up for everybody to come up against you eventually.
Yep.
The people are not gonna put up with this forever. There's only so much that people can take. Nations. There's only so much abuse a woman can take in a relationship.
That's why it says the people, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn.
Yep.
You Americans, you're the only ones that still partying. Everybody else is lighting shit on fire.
France, they went to Black Rock, man. Black Rock, that's one of the elites. They went to Black Rock, started tearing that shit down.
Yeah.
Man.
At least they know
good.
what Black Rock is.
Right.
These motherfuckers here don't even Black Rock. They think that's
the shit from the Born Identity movies. Yes, but
That's
the
a
real version.
that's a new song.
It's a new type of
Dumbass
genre
niggas.
of music. I'm talking about the Edomites that actually know a little something.
Yeah.
They know kind of what it is. They don't fully get it, but how deep the elites go, they don't really care. They just benefit. But Jake, they have no fucking clue. And then our job is to really edify our people so they can hide themselves away, so they can be scared enough to know there's only one place to turn to Yahweh through Yahweh Shah.
Still more, right? In that.
I got more. Yeah. Go ahead. All right, verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly and shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be booties unto them. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and of the
all
city.
the wars, all these wars you've been waged, a lot of casualties, a lot of deaths, a lot of people that had to mourn their children dying in these wars, man, because of your greed.
A lot of them from the early war on terror are really pissed because they realized that what's going on with my opioids. That the kid, if sent my oldest son to go steal opioids from these other countries, invading and killing those people, and now my youngest daughter is hooked on the opioids.
Right.
The same family's affected by this shit now,
Mm-hmm.
This is how recent this whole plan got put into action. Same families that sent their son and fathers and went over into the war and died over there, their daughters and their moms are now on opioids. It's crazy, man. That's how recent this is. How evil a device it was.
The suicide rate for our military veterans is super high. Because at some point it hits them like shit. Like I went over there to do all this evil in the name of freedom. That's when these demons come in at night. These people can't take it because they're fighting wars that are not righteous.
Fighting banker wars.
Yeah. They're really playing with you like Battleship or like army men on the carpet in the living room rug or something, man.
Yeah, they're what's the word? Expensive.
Yeah, disposable collateral damage. It's literally just
Expendable.
That's what they call it. Powder or foul. It's just like a word. They're just ammo, Just being used to do the dirty work of the elites.
Pawns.
Pawns.
Yeah.
Over here. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil.
What is that talking about?
It was in the margin said, or gain it an evil gain. Yeah.
You gained all this wealth, but look how you gained it. That's why it says in James the 5th chapter, how you rich me. You know, you got it by fraud. You know, you got it by robbery, thievery.
You didn't earn it, man.
No.
It was covetous how you got it.
And then you take that money and now you want to run off with it. You want to create a safe place to escape when all these people that see that you didn't fucking robbed everybody and now they coming back for their shit.
Yeah.
Now you got you a little getaway spot. Oh, I got an underground. I got a hideout.
And I'm about to blow everything. So
Oh, also, if we get into a nuclear war, I got a doomsday plane.
Yeah.
It can withstand nuclear attacks. So I have an escape route while y'all can, while y'all trying to get us. We out. Y'all can, y'all got it. Y'all kill yourselves, kill yourselves off. And then once the smoke clear, we're gonna
stay in position.
Yeah, we're gonna
In better
get our,
position.
yeah, exactly.
Easily more control.
Yeah.
Man, the cold, man. Hey, I got to put and the crazy part about it. Think of his blessing Isaac gave him. He gave him, you're gonna own everything, but you're gonna live by the sword. So you're gonna rob and kill everybody to get it. He just set him up to rob and kill everybody to get it. That's the balance though. That's how we're not supposed to do it. Let me see, is there any more? I'll jump down. Yeah, I'll jump down to 12. No, verse 10. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and established a city by iniquity.
That's what he did. That's what he did with Babylon. And that's what he tried to do in other areas and places, but they got met with resistance. They put up a fight against his ass. That's why Haiti is a shithole, because they put up a fight.
Yep.
Jake trying to make it seem like they got the victory. Well, yeah, you won the battle, so to speak. You lost the war. Y'all speak French.
Exactly.
So y'all still were conquered, bro.
Y'all poor as hell.
Yeah.
You know. They can't. They have resources, but they can't use them. They don't have the machinery to really mine those. They fucked up.
Yeah.
And what Esau does is any other nation that does dealing with them, Esau threatens to put sanctions on them.
Exactly.
This is an example of the other nations are going to hate Babylon. Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, they shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Yeah.
These are allies.
Yeah, they're beasts. Right now they thinking, NATO, because they possess, most of the GDP.
That's what Trump was saying.
That's what Trump was, he used to rub it in their face.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. But they're tired of being America's bitch.
Yep.
And this whole thing with Ukraine is gonna show that. They already been taking abuse from the fact that they can't really get the resources that they normally get because of this war going on. So now they got to go behind America's back and deal with the enemy and get gas from them. They fucked up the Nord Stream pipeline, and pretty much the world knows who did it now. And then they like, well, you know what?
Dry snitched.
India. Yeah, India. Let's do that. So we're gonna get that gas and we're gonna pass it through the back door of India, and then we're gonna bring it through India down back westward to Europe.
It's a hassle, but it's getting
It's like
done.
it's like they have to do that because of this horse.
Hey, and here's the funniest part about it to me. No matter what, because it was a plan was to do that, so fuck it, we'll just deal with America. Now fuck you, we'll do anything not to deal with you. Look at the shit you did. I just don't want to deal with you. I'll pay more. It'll take longer or whatever to get here, as long as I ain't gotta deal with you. You just gonna stick the knife in my back.
I appreciate you.
Got it.
Yeah, this goes along with that. Precept you brought up. It was Revelation 18. I'll start here at 11. Matter of fact, we'll start at 10. It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The merchandise of gold and silver, and precious stones, and pearls and fine linen, and purple and silk and scarlet, and all things wood, and all manner of vessels of jewelry, and all manner of most precious wood, and of brass and iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men.
Yeah. That's the same testament.
Everything.
And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, select. And all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. Yep. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off, for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing.
Let's go stuff. You had a good deal going. That's why they're gonna weep, because they had a good deal going now. You're just gonna freely bring your shit in and give it up to the rightful owners of it, though. Which
That's
is our
talking about
people.
America's destruction.
Right.
After the
Let's talk about the
destruction.
kingdom.
But I'm talking about in the kingdom, they had a good deal after America. They had America a good deal going. America like, fuck it, I'm tired of getting backdoored and fucked over on these deals. So now you're just gonna have to give it to us. Well, not without making no money. But to what you're saying exactly, the point of it is about America. About all the shit that it was doing. And they're gonna be happy and they're gonna be bittersweet. We're tired of this whore fucking over everybody, but damn, I was making bread out through her though. Fuck, it's fucked up, but hey.
Through this place, this is his throne. You know, America's the throne of Esau. You know, this is the place where this is the hub of all the wickedness that goes out to the earth. You know, and through this place, he was able to have a grip on the earth and the people and the resources and all the goods, everything that is good for the earth and that people need to live and survive. It was attained by force through this place. You know, through this place, all the nations were affected. All the nations are confused. Nobody knows who they are. Okay, people are destroyed because of this place, America.
I got a question.
Go ahead, bro.
Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. Break it down.
Hey, oh, go ahead. Yeah, for the longest time, everybody was following America. Everybody wanted to be like America. All the other nations ran their governments fashioned after America for the most part, right? That wine, right? Those philosophies, the system that rules this place went out through the whole earth.
That dollar bill.
Dollar bill, the dollar especially, you know, reigned supreme for the longest time. And all the nations thought, hey, this is beneficial. This is good.
America was seen as the standard
You know?
of success.
This is good. We're making trade deals. You know, we're moving up. We're building up our economy. You know, but now,
Right. Then we get to get weapons traded to us.
mhm,
You know, America is known for its output of weapons. I think the U.S. being the number one country, and second is I think Russia.
yeah.
And it's like technically the difference though is spending.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
top 10, or it's like out of the top 10, America being number one, the top 9 don't add up until America.
Right.
Yeah. So if you partner with America, you got
You know
access
he
to
got
all the
heat.
artillery.
You got heat.
Yeah.
You gonna be all right.
It's the plug.
Yeah.
You know,
He's always on deck.
you just gotta render your your sovereignty to America, to the whore. You gotta let her do her thing with you. You know, you gotta get in bed with America, basically, right?
Turn your woman out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, compromise your your morals.
Exactly.
You know.
But now, in these last days, all these nations that were once in bed with America, you know, now they're sobering up. They realize that they got taken advantage of.
Date rape.
You know, they realize that this woman, this whore, is leading them to destruction. Okay, their peoples are divided also. You know, their people are in poverty because of America and its dollar.
Verse 8. Babylon is suddenly destroyed. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's a just due. That's why what the scripture says in Revelation 18, the sins have reached unto heaven, man. Meaning what? Hey, it's time, man. Hey, and ultimately it's on Yahweh Shema Shai's time, in which America is fully, eradicated or destroyed. Hey, but America took that place in the midst of the nations as the standard, man. As the golden country, so to speak. The land flowing with milk and honey. That's how they looked at it, man. And everybody is eating off of this whore. Hey, their economies have benefited from trade, from entertainment, from all different avenues, man. But Yahweh is fed up, sick of it, man. And it's only gonna get worse.
That "Make America Great" slogan.
Yep.
That's trying to heal Babylon.
Yep.
Turn it back to its golden years. You know, that old whore, she's trying to get those plastic surgeries, those lifts, facelift. America, they're trying to give America a facelift. She's old. She's done.
We were speaking about these other nations, Chinese, Ishmael, Arabs. They come over here and build their businesses, and they send the dollar bill back to their home country. And once that dollar bill gets taken out of power, they be like, fuck this, let's go back to our own country. Shit, we already got big ass mansions, cars, we already set, for our generations, because the dollar bill, hooked us up. But now the dollar bill ain't worth nothing, so let's go back, So said, forsake her, let us go everyone into his own country.
Like Vegas, they say you on the tables or whatever, you on a run. You're making a good run.
On the road.
Winning streak, right? Well, America's run is pretty much up for these people. That streak is like, man, I crapped out a couple too many hands now. I just lay the dice down, walk away. Gamble with this one. That's what it is. If I don't walk away, I'm gonna lose it all. That's what's coming down the pipe in this place.
Too
Yeah,
proud
that-
to walk away.
That deadly wound, you know, that he said that, you know, take long for her, you know, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. That's pretty much a taunt. That's basically the Lord's talking shit. You know, if y'all think y'all can heal this place, all right, go ahead. You know, you think the amount of quantitative easing to try to, you know, revamp the economy, CBDCs, and that's your alternative. You think all that shit is gonna, yeah, bringing Trump back in, whatever the hell you think, that shit is not gonna bring this place back, man.
And a lot of people right now, they're like, it was great, though, because you have to think about why they voted him Biden. Why Jake voted Biden, because even though Trump was healing America economically, the moral decay and people,
camaraderie.
the division of the country was at an all-time high. The division of this country. So they brought Biden thinking he would bring everything back, and he fucking destroyed the economy again. So there's no
He spent way
way
more than Trump spent.
Just he spent way more just on that fucking Ukraine war.
The Ukraine is fucked off too. The people still
The
mad.
people are more
They're still
divided.
more
They're even
divided.
more
It just
divided.
got worse. No matter what you do, it's just worse.
They got they fucking they're radicalizing the damn trans movement.
But there's a lot of Edomites that's coming against that. You know, with this whole Budweiser shit.
Yeah.
The motherfuckers called in a bomb threat to some Budweiser factory in California yesterday.
Their stocks went all the way down.
Man, you got you know who else is? I guess I seen a video where Jack Daniels, they advocating for the Alphabet Group. So this one guy, he took all this Jack Daniels shit, do that shit. You know, Edomites go with the extras, but you see where they mind is at, where they mentality at. They not. A lot of these Edomites not with this New World Order, with the whole agenda shit.
They know they actually more dangerous than the low-level gangs. We're the only ones that's higher than anybody else on this. But them other ones, man, them other Edomites, man, a lot of them could really put a dent in some shit. But they got them on the list, though. They on the list, too.
This is Nahum 3:19. There is no healing of thy bruise, thy wound is grievous. All that hear the root of thee shall clap their hands over thee, for upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continually. Hey, because this, because you mentioned, what did you say? I think you said, you quoted Jeremiah, where you said, take balm for her pain, and so she may be healed. You know, hey, America is basically at its decayed state, man. And that is decayed state. Guess what, man? Hey, it's bound to crumble. It's bound to crumble, man.
Worms.
Yeah.
Company and company. Yeah, company and our.
It's infested with STDs. This woman, America. You know, it's just. It's
terminal.
Yeah, terminal.
It has infected the whole world with this fucking disease. You know, America. Starting with because this land is just a piece of land, but it's ran by man. You know, so ultimately it leads back to Esau. You know, and there's a scripture that says that the physician cutteth off a long disease. Right? And who's the physician? The physician is Yahweh Shai. And he's coming to cut off that long disease, which is, it's like a cancer in the earth, you know? It's where everything's, all the evil shit, all the abominations stem from.
You know they're the cancer wherever they are predominantly is where species is in danger. You know how many species is on the endangered list here just in America alone?
That was part of what made this place beautiful, was all the different creatures it had over here versus the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Had its own special birds, animals and shit.
They killed off the buffaloes.
Most resources.
Yeah. They killed off everything here.
The fact that you got an endangered list, that's to tell you right there.
Endangered of extinction.
Yeah.
You know more. He likes that type of shit.
Yeah.
And then
likes to put shit
they spend more
scarce.
money to act like, oh, we're gonna spend money and save this certain species or whatever.
He hunts animals to the point of extinction, man, just for sport.
I'm gonna say on a full stomach.
You know, he hunts for sport.
This asshole blew up a dairy farm with 18,000 cows in it.
Yeah.
That should tell you everything. That should tell you everything, man.
Yeah, the milk. You don't care for the babies. You don't care for the meat of the people. You don't care for business. You don't care for nothing.
Bro,
With his own personal gain, he's gonna gain by doing it.
that's why it says in Isaiah 24, I don't think we got that.
Oh yeah.
The
Earth mourn,
is
languishing.
mourning and languishing. It's defiled and the inhabitants because they what? They're transgressing the laws and changing the orders. You know? Destroying the ecosystem is gonna affect all of us.
Yeah.
Everything has its use and purpose.
Right.
Why would you try to destroy that?
Something with just as simple as cutting down the trees. Jake don't realize how that affects us. They just trees or like no.
We need wood and pencils.
Man,
you know,
trees do so much for us.
Yeah. Don't take much to make
Not
that.
just the oxygen, but everything you just things you just
And
named.
people and all the stuff I just named, they're pushing the recycle agenda on. So it ain't that. Now we know it ain't just that no more. So guess what? When you remove the oxygen of the people, their brains don't function on the same level.
Yeah.
So they're not